Thank you again for your time today. We're excited about this presentation. It'll be perhaps a little bit shorter than we envisioned, but we'll also take a few questions at the end. So the title, as we know, is The Do's and Don'ts of Competing for City of San Antonio Projects. Razi, as you all know, has been the director of the Public Works Department and has served the City of San Antonio for over 29 years and has been in the field of engineering for 38 years. Many of you know firsthand that he has overseen the implementation of the three largest bond programs ever approved by the City of San Antonio, and that would include projects like CONRAC. So, Razi, thank you for joining us. Others will be joining the meeting as we go along, and then when you're through, we'll provide a few minutes for questions.
Thank you, Doug, and thanks everybody for having me. Good afternoon. I want to talk really about first the COVID effect on Public Works Department, then we go talk about do's and don'ts. Starting March of this year, for last 3 months, we had a significant amount lost on general fund, which is really include the sales taxes. Because of that, we had to cut is a $50 million from our street maintenance program. Our street maintenance program has grown from a very small amount from 64 million to 99, and last 2 years has been 110 million. And we were hoping to carry that 110 million many years in the future also. But unfortunately, we had to cut 50 million from 110 million we had for 2020. We had 7 million saving from project. We ended up deferring $43 million project for next year. Our department is almost 900 people strong. Half of us is working from home, and other half is roughly working from basically outside. They are the ones paving the roadway, mowing the channel, and I have been in the office every day since this started, and few people with me in the office. And we are also looking, sadly, next year will be our budget still small. We don't know how much, but we know it is not going to be what we used to have. And also, potentially, this may affect potentially our bond capacity comes 2022. Before this, early January or so, we were anticipating we are going to have a bond the size of 950 million, but probably will be less than that. But we don't really know, probably until late this year, we will know really the effect of this COVID-19 on our general fund and our bond. Going back, do's and don'ts, as you know, most of our 2017 bond project design is done. They are going to go construction this year and next year. What I really want a contractor to kind of to know, first of all, when we advertise the project for bid, attend pre-submittal meeting. Sometimes we make mandatory, sometimes not, but attend anyway. Ask whatever question you have to ask. And also, we post those questions online. Make sure read those questions, what other people has asked, because more likely it will benefit you too. Follow the solicitation instruction and make sure all requested information is provided. Remember, we are typical government. You have to make sure all form is completed and signed and submitted to us. Many times we end up having the contractors really qualified, but they miss the small businesses requirement. And a small business requirement sometimes end up being a little confusing. Although during the bidding time, you couldn't really contact us, but you could really contact the small businesses or economic development office until really the day of the bid. And they are open to help you. Our intention to help you to meet those goals. If you have any question, call them. Maybe even visit with them. Hopefully this COVID goes away. You can in person or fax them the form you have completed, ask them and get input. Make sure you have done correct. Most of the time, consulting really, they mean to do it right thing, but they think they are doing right thing, but in reality, they are really not. They are not meeting the requirement. If you are not meeting the requirement, there is a very restricted requirement documenting why you couldn't find certain requirements, small businesses, American, or so on, document those, phone call, email, and one is enough. You need to go few steps to make sure you really make the effort and you couldn't find the individual to do that work for us. Follow the communication rule. During the we are advertising project, especially it is not really a low bid project, we really don't want you really cannot contribute to elected official. We had number of the time, people didn't realize they are still on that blackout window time frame. They end up contributing very small amount, sometimes maybe $50 or $100, but they end up really missing that qualification. Follow that one, and if they are the one who's reaching to you and asking you to contribute, just tell them this is the time you are bidding certain project, you just cannot contribute for them. On certain building project, we do those other than low bid. Design build, we do some. Competitive seal proposal, we do other. Make sure select the team, they have good standing with City of San Antonio, and also really they have experience project required, because we review those RFQ very carefully, make sure if certain project require certain expertise, you have those on your team, and they also have good standing with City of San Antonio. Comply all small businesses and wage earn our requirement, not just during bidding the project, after you have the project. Most of the time, we do the scorecard on contractor and consulting. We document how you really perform during the during the construction of the project you are constructing for us. Quality is important, budget is important, time is important. Make us to be part of your team, and we need to make you part of team, not us against you. We as a team need to work to finish that project. You make us to look good, we make you to look good. We really need to work together. If there is any issue, have us involved, make sure we know, we are not the surprise. Identify those issues early enough. Let's us together work and provide some solution. Most of the time, contractor really, they are knowledgeable about construction much more than we are. Provide us some recommendation. Don't just throw the problem to our lab and tell owner it is your problem and fix it. Of course, you could do that one, but that's not really good teamwork. That's not really going to make you get another job. Help us to help you to get the project done. When we are advertising project for design and build team, identify challenges project is having and provide some solution. Every project has some challenges: construction challenge, location, environmental, material, or design. Identify those and provide solution. I don't mean you have to design those projects. Tell us, for this project has certain challenges, but you have a member of your team has done project, had similar challenges for many times, because that's the one is going to really help us to select you over somebody else. Especially design build, competitive seal proposal, most of the time, really, they are done on the interview. We do 2 steps. One is based on qualification, what you submit to us. Then we shortlist. Most of the time, we shortlist 3 or 4 firms, and we interview them, and we select one of them. On design, build, and competitive seal proposal, price is factor, but very small amount factor. Not 100%, not like low bid. Therefore, don't really let that price influence you. Most of the time, we are looking for quality of the contractor or quality of the team. In next few months, we are planning to advertise 24 project. Of course, all of them is not a building project at value of over 100 million, but we will have some of them will be building project. This COVID has not affected our bond project. We still have the same money, $850 million. We are pushing those projects for construction. We have number of the library renovation will be coming pretty soon. We have two community centers they will be advertising soon, which your team can go after. We have fire station will be advertised, I think either advertised or will be advertised very soon. Therefore, we have number of the bond project will be coming for construction very soon. Doug, basically, that's all I had. I can answer any question your member has.
Well, Razi, thank you very much. Let me remind people that the meeting is being recorded. If you have a question, you can submit it either through chat or you can raise your hand. And as you're doing that, let me thank Jennifer Cavazos in our office for setting this up. Jen, thanks for doing it. And we've got a number of people who have joined us, Razi, since you began. And we'll see if there's a question or two in the next few minutes. As they're doing that, Razi, is there one single thing that you would recommend people don't do? Is there one particular mistake that you keep seeing that prevents people from competing successfully on city projects?
I think the biggest one is I personally have seen is not being able to meet the SAVIDA small business requirement, but not really documenting properly. It is really not too difficult to document. Let's say there is a 2% certain requirement, either woman-owned business, African, whatever that may be. And if truly you couldn't find, document, you call them, you send them email, and they are not available or they're not willing to work with you, you didn't get any response back. Good documentation goes a long way and is so easy to document because also it makes our job difficult. Many times we lose the low bidder, we go second low bidder, $500,000 over the first one because of they didn't meet the requirement. And we cannot overcome that one because that's really city ordinance. Even we are paying $500,000 more, but that's city ordinance.
That's a good point. Mike, it looks like you've got a question. Mike Kyman?
Razi, I don't know if you can see, I posted in chat just a couple of screenshots. And this is just a screenshot from the city website in regard to the senior center. And as you were talking how the city has many different ways of procuring projects, and senior center is not a low bid, but a competitive sealed proposal. And I found it interesting that that of the 100 points that are available for prime contractors that are not SPADA eligible, immediately lose 20 points. And I was wondering, for contractors like Skanska and Nunley and Turner that do a nice job of getting SPADA eligible subcontractors on projects and achieve the goals of the project, but are not small business in and of themselves, we lose 20 points immediately. And I'm wondering if there's any thought into that. I mean, this job, for example, when we pulled it off, when we looked at the scoring, we're immediately at an 80 compared to a SPADA eligible firm that would receive 20 points just for being a SPADA and submitting a bid, not for meeting the goals, but just for meeting, just for being SPADA eligible. So I wonder if there's any thoughts there.
I think, Mike, you're right. That's challenging for us and for you also, because we want to get a qualified team to build our project. But one of the recommendation I can give it to you, all of the CSP is two-step. You may lose that 20 point in the first place as long as you are selected for the interview overcomes. On previous many jobs, we end up having the prime not to be small businesses because of interview and their team, they did so good. We had selected one to aviation early this year, and the firm wasn't the small businesses, but they did on interview, they overcome that 20 point.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions of Razi? We've got another minute or two if you want to raise your hand or enter it in chat.
One more thing, Doug, this COVID effect on our construction, we really have not heard from our contractor other than one having significant effect on their operation. It hasn't delayed our schedule significantly, maybe slowing down here and there, but not really a major delay. When it comes to facility building and other, we had some material delivery delay or slow down, but really hasn't affected our construction activity. Actually, on the roadway, some degree or not, it has helped us because there is very little traffic. We are building that Harburger Park Bridge over the Wurzbach Parkway. For last 3-4 weekends, we have closed with almost no complaint and no effect because there is very little traffic. Construction has unfortunately benefit from this COVID.
It's nice to finally get a break. And I noticed that Albert joined the meeting. I don't know if he wants to comment on City Hall, but if you have questions of any of us, Razi, we've got the time. You've got a number of people who've joined. I don't know if you can see who's on the call, but if you have a question of AGC members that are on the call, now's a good time to ask.
Yeah, what I really like from you guys, how are we doing? How can we improve? We are not perfect, but it is hard to improve if you don't know what you are improving. Of course, also, I really want to know the improvement I can do, like lowering SEBIDA requirement. That's unfortunately city ordinance. We need to work that one. You need to work that one different angle to reduce that one. That's not really our staff calls, but the way we are handling the project, the way we pay you timely, we close the project, we respond to your request. How can we improve what we do?
Well, that's a very good question. Let's see who wants to take that. Mike, looks like your hand's up.
Razi, I just think from a continuous improvement, lean organization that the city is really moving towards, the more consistency. I mean, you've been a consistent face there at the city for a long period of time. And what we're noticing right now is just maybe from our perspective from aviation, a lot of project management and leadership is constantly evolving and moving. How can the city get some more Razis that are there for a long period of time, that know how to maneuver, around and through things? I think that would be helpful. We're seeing a lot of turnover.
And you're right, Mike. Again, every bad thing also has some good result. This COVID, until January, market was so good. They were hiring our people from left and right. Many of you know when Peter Zanoni, deputy city manager from City of San Antonio early last year, went to be city manager for Corpus Christi, he ended up taking a number of good people from our organization. As you know, he also hired Brad Van Hazel from us. I even counter-offered to increase his salary significantly, but it was better position over there he ended up going. But now, I don't think too many people is hiring. Hopefully people can stay a little longer in our organization and any organization. Even you, we were having so much problem. Contractor was stealing from each other.
Well, I'm afraid that's been a perennial problem, and hopefully that isn't as occurring as often as it used to. Are there any other questions or comments for Razi today? If not, Razi, thank you so much for your time. Oh, there's Albert. Go ahead.
Hey, how are y'all? Razi, I was just, obviously the challenge is manpower, and even in the cities staffing. You have a very large city tower project and a very complicated city hall project, and we are sharing inspectors and sharing reviewing agencies, and sometimes that is a challenge for both projects. I don't know if you had plans moving forward for future multiple city projects that are going to be going on in the future, because it won't stop with these two. I'm sure we'll continue to develop our city as our vision is. What's y'all's idea of staffing for certain critical reviews that are timely? Could be PABs, could be page turns, it could be inspections in the field, that kind of stuff.
Good question, Albert, and thank you for working on the City Hall for us. I think we have good team on City Hall and City Tower.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What we have been doing for last few years in the city is hard to get additional staff, because when you hire someone, that's almost a lifetime job guaranteed. It's hard to replace,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't, the city policy not really let the people go. What we are doing when we are budgeting the project, complicated project, we put some money aside to hire staff augmentation or consulting to help us.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't have enough, I make sure Jeff is project manager, we can get some more, because our intention is not really to hold you back. That's not our intention.
Yeah.
And in the future, if you end up having issue with we don't have enough inspector, or we are delaying, just make sure I know it.
Oh yeah, we've been collaborating well with Jeff and his people. So, but it does get to be a challenge every now, here and there. That's all. We're all moving positive forward. So it'll be a ongoing issue with the booming city like we have, despite COVID and those kinds of things. So
Someone's got to write the ship.
Albert,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And Razi, I will say before we end, it was exciting to see the land bridge photograph on the cover of the Express News this morning.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Good.
Front page glossy.
Lots of good progress. Lots of good, and I'm glad that there haven't been complaints. That's miraculous.
Yeah, we had no complaint. We have a 24-hour inspector starting late Friday until Sunday morning. On that one, I do get constantly picture of it. It is very interesting to coming to finish. We are planning to finish that project fall of this year, and it's done. A $23 million project. City had 13 million. They raised 10 million. Altogether, $23 million project.
Right. Very exciting. Well,
Jody
Razi,
might have a question.
Well, if you're out of time, that's okay. It's
No, go
not a
ahead.
big deal. So my question was more related to the permitting and things happening down at Development Services. I've applied for a couple of permits recently, and it seems like the process is set up pretty good down there. I was just wondering if you had any comments, Razi, about, are things going to go back to normal? I know you don't know that, but as far as any insights you might have on that whole process down there.
Good question, Jody. I'm not sure really everything is going to go back the way it used to be. We don't really know what will be the new norm, but I think it's not going to be done this soon, probably sometime in July or so. We had a conference call with the city manager this morning, early today. The idea is for city staff coming back to work by phases, not everybody same time, starting June 1st. But at the end of the day, I don't think we are going to work the way we used to do late last year or even January. I think this is going to change the way we live. Maybe not as much as in-person meetings, some WebEx, maybe not as much as traveling and other thing. On the way to home and to work, there's a dry cleaning on my way. I pay attention every day. They are almost empty because not too many people is working, and they don't have to take a clothes. Therefore, certain business will be shrunk, and it is going to create some new businesses because of what has happened.
Yeah, and I would say it's actually been almost easier in a way. I mean, dropping dropping off for the permit hasn't been an issue. And we had some preliminary plan review meetings that were all done through Teams or whatever else. And it seems like y'all have it set up pretty well with everything going on.
I think in the beginning, we were really learning. In the beginning, it was so slow. I have been in the office every day other than Saturday and Sunday. It was very slow, but now we are fully booked. I was in the office yesterday, believe it or not, until 6:30. I think now we are really learn how to manage this new norm.
Jody, thank you for your question. Are there any other questions? If not, Jen, thank you for setting this up. Razi, thank you so much for your time. Let us know what we can do to help you in the future, and have a good weekend.
We are going to start gathering our 2022 bond sometime summer and fall. We may need some help from you guys.
Be happy to help.
Thank you, Razi.
Always here to help.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Everybody stay safe.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.